Hey everybody! Hope hope you guys are there. We apologize about the delay. Been having some technical issues here,
More technical difficulties! Yay!
Oh god, yeah, it's
Hey,
if it's not
Jason.
one thing, it's another. Great, Jason. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
So I guess that means it's working.
Yeah, it is working. I just started it a moment ago and it was still on private because we have been doing some test runs and it's been quite the headache and have been trying to get Rybeats back on. We were literally just talking a moment ago, doing test runs after test runs, and there's a couple of issues that have come up with one. My computer is just about at the point towards where
Yay!
It just it's time for a new one. And then Comcast apparently has been calling us, telling us that they need to come out and check our connection.
Sundry.
So between the computer and the connection, we're gonna have to revisit this. I do, and Rybeats, if you're listening, I apologize, man. I really wanted to have you on and to be able to have you tell your story as to how you got into screen printing, and we hope to have you back.
He just sent a emoji of a ghost.
And then, we hope to have some more of you guys on. But at this moment, it's been a weird week. I haven't been able to even edit any videos to toss up.
And it's amazing because he just got a new camera.
Yeah, I just got a new camera. Hopefully there's no lag or anything when we do go to looking at my pretty face. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. And obviously Shannon the Shop Gnome is back, so let's go ahead and kick it over.
I'm telling you, you guys probably should have just done it a little earlier.
Hey, what's up, guys? So we are back, and hopefully nothing is lagging on the other end. Like I was saying, if you guys are just tuning in, we've been having some issues with the internet and my computer. I literally spent most of the weekend redoing my operating system. I'm like, oh, so every now and then you just kind of have to reinstall things to speed things up. It was running really slow, and I don't think that really fixed anything.
What's that? Oh, and Gene says he enjoys the design videos you did.
Oh, cool. Hey, Gene, man, I really appreciate that. It's funny that you mentioned that because I have some videos that I'm trying to work on editing, and it just for whatever reason, my computer is just it's kind of crapping out. I think it's time for a new one. So, although they're not cheap, so hey, I might have to wait a little bit, but I'm going to do my best to figure out a way to make things work and to continue to upload videos. So I have a video that I've been working on that shows you guys how to manually separate an image on a black shirt. So how to do spot or simulated process, how to separate that in Photoshop. That's one of the things I've been working on, and I've got about 5 or 6 other videos that I just can't even get to because editing them right now is just, I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it's happening. But anyhow, I'll get that all figured out, and in the meantime, we're going to just hang out for a little while, and we'll revisit having Rybeats on. Rybeats, I appreciate all the time you've put into it, and
yeah, we're sorry about that. Yeah. Like, this is just, of course, it decides to fail. Like, right at this moment.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I still had the wrong thing. I'm kind of off my game today because I was really trying to make things work with Rybeats. Did a little bit of a test run, and the video was just lagging really bad, and really wanted to have him on, be able to ask some questions and you guys be able to hear. And we need to figure out a way for Shannon to be able to monitor as well. We need to get a device so she can have some headphones and listen in as well and ask some questions. So I don't know, perhaps things kind of happen for a reason, and we'll continually just kind of be stepping things up. So that's how my week's been going. And weekend, how has everybody else's been going?
Tell me news, guys. I've missed you.
Yeah, news. What are some of the
we
things
really didn't get
that...
to talk to you guys last time, or you didn't, and I was kind of just curled up in a corner.
Yeah, Shannon wasn't feeling well last week. She's back, and last time we just had a whole bunch of issues with the live stream having Rybeats on.
Hey, Free Press.
Things were just really slow, and we'll get all that hammered out, though. We'll get it all sorted out.
So what have we missed for the last 2 weeks? Anyone got news, questions, comments, concerns, exciting events?
Equipment, awesome new clients.
We won the birthday thing yesterday.
Yeah, we did. Went to a friend's. Okay, so it was his daughter's 3-year-old. They're having their birthday party. It's on a Sunday of all days, and when we get together, we like to shoot the what and have a good time.
I was begging
him.
And
I think that we didn't even get back home until like 1 o'clock.
2.
Was it 2?
It was 2.
Oh Lord, we didn't leave until 1. I'll say that I woke up a little. Let's just say I wasn't feeling all that great.
Oh, Rybeats! It's his 4-year-old's first day of school for the first time. Yay!
Oh wow, that's awesome. So our kiddos are 8, 5, and 2.
I see you thinking.
I'm awful with. I'm like, dude, man, they just turned 8 and 5, and
July 29th and August 3rd.
Yeah, no, I know that. Sometimes it's man, I forget how old I am. Sometimes I forget. I'll go to get well. Okay, I'll go get your prescription, and then they're like, what's the birth date? Oh man,
November 20th. It's still November 20th.
Yes, I know that.
Okay, anyways, we got a question.
I know.
And before we get to the question, Indigenous says that he's been selling his shirts with his design, and they've got good sales. People are saying the designs are better than the ones at the powwows in Bismarck. So he's getting around so far. That's awesome. Congratulations. I wish we could start getting some of my designs out.
That's true. I don't know what you're looking at on me for. Like,
I wrote it on the board.
I know you did, but there's also a lot of other stuff that we need to do.
You erased it on the board.
I didn't erase
yes,
it.
Yes, you did. I said, digitize Black Sheep and Unicorn. And you erased it. Oh, actually, no. First you wrote, when we have time. And then I was like, oh, screw it. Anyway.
A lot of that is we're busy. That's why I'm like, I want to teach you how to use the...
Yes, I'm going to be taking the class.
Yeah.
But anyways, Indigenous, congratulations. That's awesome. I'm jealous. And we had a question. An uproar, okay. Yes. Wait, okay. They're hearing white noise.
Yeah, hopefully it's gone by now. That was the stupid little trial thing that I was using in order to capture.
Going. Okay, Madison. Hi, Madison. That's our daughter's name.
All gone. You're good now. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I had to turn that loopback software off that I was trying to capture Rybeats interview with, and
yeah, you guys.
Apparently, it's $100 software, and then whenever that trial ends, which it just popped up, it's like it puts this white noise in it.
He's been super. I'm not gonna lie, guys. He's been super distracted ever since like this whole technical difficulty thing came up. He's been like super distracted, and
I've been trying to make this work.
I know.
It's not as easy as it seems. And then Shannon's over here pressuring me with digitizing her artwork, and we got clients calling us left and right, and we got T-shirts to print, and then we're printing an order today where it's like, instead of TSC, we're mad at you, by the way. They, instead of them giving us 2 extra smalls, and I shipped the client's order short, aside from those 2 extra smalls just being smalls. So I have to run the TSC to get that situated.
So now we can't print.
Yeah, it's because
this,
it's a 6-color print, just still set up, and also there were what was it? There was tags in the Gildan shirts that said ladies.
Yeah, they labeled the medium youth as ladies, but that's not TSC's fault. That's Gildan's.
Yeah, but they're not even a ladies cut. You can tell the difference as youth.
It's a medium youth. But
so
anyways.
I'm just, oh man. I'm ready for,
we've got questions.
I'm ready for a vacation for.
We just had one.
A week. Anyways, we had a weekend vacation. I need a week. I want a week's vacation.
Okay, so Giovanni has a question. And
what's up, Giovanni? Let's Shannon, go ahead with the question.
He wants to know, how much do you expand an image for trapping or base?
Well, if it's in Photoshop, then I would make sure it's at full print size at 300 DPI. I would expand it either 1 or 2 pixels. Keep your base the same. Expand the pixels by 2. How great are you at actually registering things up spot on? You may want to
Jurassic.
You might want to try 2. Generally, I do 1, but with an Illustrator, I will expand. I'll put a stroke on it, and I'll put a 1-point stroke on it. Make sure it's set to the outside. If it's just set on the center, then you're really only getting half a point worth of stroke. So that's how I go about kind of expanding my overprint.
Okay, Indigenous has a second thing of shop news. His tribe paid for his new 6-color 4-station press and separation studio software.
What?
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Cool.
You know, the word is that I'm part Indian down the road, but
everybody's
I've never
apparently.
Native American. Yeah, because our family is the Matwayas. There's a really cool documentary on the people of the Cane River, and you'll kind of get a glimpse as to my background. And I don't know, I've always wanted to do one of those and I know we've talked about this, one of those DNA test things.
I don't need to do a DNA test. I know. Yeah, I already know. I'm a Viking.
White.
No, I'm a Viking.
You're not a Viking.
I'm a Viking.
You're no more a Viking than
than
I am a car by standing in the garage type of thing.
You shut your face. I'm a Viking. So my only other alternative is I'm Canadian.
So, no, you were born in, what is it?
Colorado
Springs.
Yeah, and you weren't born in Louisiana. You still say that you're French.
I've never. Yeah, well, that's heritage. You're saying that you're Canadian and Viking. You're born in Colorado.
Because the Vikings were the ones that discovered Newfoundland, and that's where my family came from. And my grandparents moved down here from Newfoundland and became naturalized citizens. Hence, by the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, I'm a freaking Viking.
No, okay. Let's just we'll call you a Viking, even though you're born in Colorado. Okay. So.
I really can't get much whiter, can I?
Like, to me, that just doesn't make sense. Like, I don't think I'm. Well, I don't even know how to even say it. I'm Houstonian. I'm
You're
Texan,
French.
And then I'm American. I'm not. Well, my mom's part German, and I think they're just German. They're just white people.
Anyways.
Anyhow,
Indigenous,
it's fun.
Congratulations. That really is super, super cool. And can't wait to see it.
Anyhow,
every time I ask, send pics.
Yeah.
Every time I keep asking you guys for pics of everything that's going on. No one has sent me any pics.
You know why? I think what we need to do, I think what we're going to have to do is we're just going to have to set up a Facebook page towards where we can go over and take a look. Clothing. And then you guys can post your pictures there. Well, because really just emailing stuff, I think is more of a pain in the butt than if people can go over to Facebook and put their pictures up.
That's what Uproar is suggesting now.
Okay, cool.
EDV,
well,
yo.
You know, I've thought about it, and I know some of these other guys out here have a Facebook page where you can go and just kind of share what's going on really. And so I think that will be beneficial because we are curious as to what's going on in the shop and how you guys are growing. And we can actually we'll answer your questions and show whatever we have going on too, because I think that'll be cool. So Shanny, what other questions are out there? Or Shannon, do you want to talk about how your week's been going? Because it's 2 weeks now since the last show, and you were absent. So let's ask Shannon, how was your past 2 weeks? How's things been going for you?
I'm about to strangle a school administrator. Not really. That's actually not a threat, I promise.
Aside from that, tell us why you weren't feeling well. What happened with that?
I don't know.
We're gonna interview you since.
Okay, well, I don't know. Maybe I ate something bad or something at the beach, like got in my mouth or something. But I just felt so terrible for Matt because I am in the corner of the futon as he's getting work done, and of course he still drags my ass over here. And so we're in this tiny little Japanese-sized apartment, and every now and then he would just hear, bleh! And I'm like throwing up one of our kids' sand buckets.
I'm like, oh my God, okay.
And he's like 10 feet away from me, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, but it just wasn't going to
be. I told her
couldn't keep anything down.
Yeah, I told her the two worst things. They did a study that the two most annoying sounds that people can hear is someone vomiting, for one, and a baby crying. And we had to come up here to the shop, and it was her throwing up and a baby crying. That was the extent.
Crying, and I was throwing up like right behind him. But it got better the second day. I was able to eat 3 crackers and half a bottle of Sprite. So progress. And then I started feeling better, and I got back to work, and I got an order I still am trying to organize with 10 different designs of shirts with individual family names on them, on the backs of all of them, but all customized backs. And I had to figure out, and they sent me like this weird grid thing that's like oh my God, it's like 10 feet long.
Yeah, that thing is
I had no idea how to make sense of it. And so I had to figure out which family that plays which instrument has what size of which design, or not design, but style of shirt, and quantities, and how I'm supposed to order that. And and they're sending me the wrong numbers. Oh, and she keeps sending me like more orders. So she's like, these kids forgot theirs. And I'm like, I okay. So I've been doing that all day because that's my job.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like we went to the Galveston, which is our.
Oh my God, I wasn't hungover, guys.
No, she wasn't hungover. She's probably hungover today, but not.
I had a headache because I was tired. Okay, it had nothing to do with the tequila.
Yeah. It's not often that you drink tequila, and it was flowing like the Nigel River. That's for sure. But she didn't feel good, and so we didn't get back till 2 last night, and then this morning came way too fast, and we were both just kind of like, what are we doing today? We got a lot to do today. Why? We got a lot to do today, and we feel like this, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Feel better now.
Everybody's just telling me about vodka.
Vodka, yeah, that's kind of our go-to. But then the tequila was flowing
really
last night for sure, because those drink mixes were pretty good. I couldn't drink any more beer because they barbecued, and I was just like, man, I can't keep fitting beer in. It's not even giving me a buzz. So.
Well, that's probably best since you were driving.
Well, yeah. However, I mean, it just made me full. That's all it did. It just made me more full.
Anyways, so that's my news for the week, besides for, being sick and, having a little too much fun last night.
Right.
My news for the week is that I am trying to sort through about 500 numbers and styles of shirts, and I just don't understand. I don't understand when they give you grids. Just give me a list of the numbers and the sizes. That's all I want. That's all I want. I don't want a grid. I don't want an Excel program, because you know what? I learned Excel. I've forgotten everything I've learned about Excel. I don't use Excel. So you give me like a 10-foot long grid, and I'm just like, okay. So I'm ending up writing everything out and
Excel
counting and keeping tallies.
Great, but when you don't use it every single day, it can be really hard and intimidating. And people that use it every day, I definitely see the benefit to it. However, just we don't use it enough because we're artists. So
yeah, and I don't know. Just when a client gives you an order, I don't think a lot of the times that they understand just how difficult they can make your job by just being kind of. It's like the Firehouse one. The Firehouse one, where he came with like 8 different laminates of different style shirts with different designs on them. Yeah, and all he had was like, this person wants this many. This person wants this many. And I'm just like, I don't care. Just give me the sizes.
One of the things about that, though, is like everybody thinks a little differently, in the sense that they feel this is a great way to keep things organized for them. And then when we get it, it's just kind of like, I get what you did here, but the way our minds work is different than what's provided. Well, and also, it sometimes it just makes it a little more just time consuming. And that's some of the things about being a business owner, screen printer, whatever the case may be. It just everybody thinks a little differently, and so sometimes somebody else's way of thinking can just kind of slow things down. Whether it's like this the spreadsheet, it's the way it was put, and then we couldn't even print it out. We got to scroll all the way to the other side, and granted that it is gridded off. It's like, okay, so there's one shirt, and it's like way the hell over on row AH, like you've gone from A all the way through Z to AH, and you're trying to figure out what size it is. There's about
10.
Well, there's 10 different styles of T-shirts.
Trust me, I know that number.
Everybody has their own individual name on the back of the shirts. It's the same front print, but I mean, it is what it is. But at the same time, it can be a pain in the butt when it's
just, and also they don't really take into account like, especially like with the Firehouse one, they're not taking into account that I have to order blanks. So I have to go through, I have to sift through that, I have to ignore like certain details and just like herd like all these different numbers together and hope I'm not missing something. Because I have to like figure out just totals for the blanks themselves, and then I have to go through it and figure out the sizes that goes with what name and what style is going with what name. And I think a lot of times people just, what are you texting?
I am right. I am texting. Right Beats is texting me. He's like, "Can we do audio?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would love to. I don't know how to do it though."
Do you want to try? Because it's right now, no one's asking questions. It's just me like complaining.
Well, the thing is,
I feel like I'm kind of negging myself out.
I don't really know. Okay, so the audio that I was, the loop back that I was using to capture his audio,
you were texting.
the free trial just expired, and then it was just like. So I don't even know at this point. Like, I would love for him to be able to do the interview with him. Aside from him just calling and me sticking the phone up to the microphone, it could work. But I'm really interested in like having some
no worries,
some audio and video. That's what I want to do, and I don't know. It's been a little just trying to get all this stuff sorted out, and thought I had it all figured out.
Hotbox
And I think
says.
Go ahead, Shannon. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Hotbox says if you give him your email, he'll send you a copy.
A copy of what? Loopbat?
I guess.
All right. Let me go ahead and jump in the chat and just send me a copy of that. If you have Dropbox or whatever it is, you can toss it in there. And yeah, so it's just, man, it's been like, if it's not one thing, it's another type of situation. I know you don't like that phrase very much, Shannon, but it's it seems like there's just a whole bunch of.
I just feel like it's very fatalistic.
I think it's realistic. If anything, it's just like,
you know what my theory is?
Shit happens.
Events and problems are cowards, and they come in packs.
They do.
That's a line from my favorite writer ever, Neil Gaiman.
They do.
He wrote Neverwhere. You guys should read it.
So I don't know, man. It's just like the computer I've had for years and years has just right now all of a sudden it's just like, I don't want to do the task OBS, and it's like there's some red stuff going on here. And then Comcast is calling, and they're like, we need to come out and check your internet speed. And oh man, it's been quite the week. It's been quite the week, but you know what? We'll get it figured out, and we're going to continue to improve our live streams and have some of you guys out there that even if you don't have a YouTube channel, you want to Skype us, or whatever the case may be, we can have you on, because to me, one of the things is I like hearing people's stories. Even I don't care at what point you're at, but if you're screen printing, you know where you're at and what are some of your plans. And because to me, I mean, started out in the garage, and it was just, it wasn't even meant to even be a career, and it just turned into a career. So
and a relationship.
and yeah, the relationship with the shop gnome. So
I walked in one day and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's.
And then I got a job.
I think life kind of steers you down certain paths for whatever reason, and then the screen printing is something that was just like, I'm going to print my own T-shirts because it costs too much to buy T-shirts from another screen printer in town. I wanted to sell my shirts for $10, and that's what they were charging me per T-shirt for a one color print. I'm like, forget that. The company I work for, I know how to do all the film. They screen print on latex balloons. How much harder could it be to print on a T-shirt? So I made a press out of wood.
What's a blue snowball?
A blue snowball, that's a microphone, a USB microphone.
Okay.
Oh, why?
I felt like that was like I felt like I was like, that sounds like it could be really vulgar.
I got a 2X blue snowball for $50 with desk mounts. That's awesome, dude.
Jason's like, do what? Yeah, like, I think Jason and I both just went, huh?
Yeah, the
PG guys. PG.
I've heard of that one. The microphone that I do use, it's not a USB microphone. I actually got this microphone because I had the intentions, and I still do, the intentions of recording an album, and this thing was like $300. I'll put a link in the comments and whatnot, but it's you know, for the money, it's a really great microphone. And then we have an audio box PreSonus interface and all that, and it's a pretty simple setup. The audio, I've never had an issue with the audio. It's just been the computer and the internet.
Jean LaRose is asking about the side-by-side stream and Skype and stream it through OBS. I think wasn't that what you were trying to do?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were doing. The only issue that I had been having, because if you're on a PC, you're probably going to have an easier time with it. There's a glitch with the software that OBS has written for the newest OS X in on Macintosh. So you have to. So with the PC, you can just capture the window and the audio will automatically go through. Well, there has to be a workaround with a Macintosh. You have to have a software to capture the audio and reroute it through OBS. And so that was one of the issues we're having. So earlier when it was just like, that was the trial of loopback ending. I know there's other ones out there, but dude, these guys are wanting $100 for the software. I'm like, I mean, if it were how I made a living, but I just wanted to get people on to
hi Jay,
to interview them, and it just I can't really just toss out $100. I might have to wait a month before YouTube eventually is like, okay, you made a little more money to buy some other type of software, or the case may be. That will probably be one of the next things. That I don't know if you noticed the quality of the video is better. Before it was really dark, and I kind of really wanted to get this camera to put it on Shannon, but I don't think we've really convinced her.
You guys haven't hit the quota.
That's gonna hit it.
You guys haven't hit the quota. Anyways, Indigenous wants to know if we submit 2 or more design variations for clients, or do you just do what they request?
It depends on the crunch. So like, say for instance, today submitted a koozie design. Client needs it by the 14th. They wanted all these bad word phrase things or whatever it is. And I remember I was talking to Shannon. I was like, these are their bad words. And then I was like going down the line. I'm like, da 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 da.
And then he gave me a list of all his creative bad words.
And theirs was something like just saying and poopy something or another. Like they were very. Yeah, poo. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, there are times. So I will provide 2 or 3, sometimes maybe even 4. Just depends on if the creative juices are flowing, the time crunch and all that. Most of the time, I will provide some variations. I'll get the basis of it down and then just kind of rearrange the layout if there's some type or a picture and whatnot. You know, it doesn't take but another 10 or 15 minutes sometimes. The hardest part's getting like the foundation of it down, and then I'll send a few variations for them to choose from. And sometimes, like, we got a job lined up where we have to create a t-shirt design for a veterans ride, and it has text. It has like an American bald eagle with the American flag and its wings and all that. And so I'll probably end up sending him a couple, 2 or 3 variations, because the artists that put it together before, they weren't very happy with that. Okay. So yeah, we definitely do.
And theoretically, we charge for a redesign, though. Theoretically, it's in our pricing sheet, but I can't remember.
Revising.
Yes, but I can't remember the last time we've actually charged for that.
For revisions?
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we charged. It's on our pricing sheet, but I don't think we ever hold to it. Anyways, Jean wants to know how the customer with the race car design liked what we made. And Jean loved it. She loved it, loved it, loved it. She actually just put in her second order, and that's what we've been printing today.
Yeah, we're printing that today. And I actually recorded some video today of us printing it, because I know I showed the design, how I went about designing it. I manually, well, first I used Separation Studio to separate it. I wasn't happy with the way it was separating it out, so I went and did a manual separation on that. I did a video on how to manually separate it, but not using
Thank you, Gene.
the race car design. I just used like a movie poster, but the design printed a lot better this time. Last time
he wasn't
like
real happy with it.
Crunch. I wasn't super happy about it, like with the way it came out. And it was just that one car.
That one middle gray car.
It was a gray car, and it was like a really low resolution photograph, and you couldn't really tell the panels and all that just by looking at it. What was what? It just kind of looked like a gray car. But yeah, they were very happy with it, and we printed some more.
And that's kind of the thing you guys gotta remember, a lot of times with lay people, they're not looking nearly as hard as you are. So I remember we did one of Reagan's. It wasn't this last one we did for Reagan. It was the one before that for a different charity thing.
Right.
And we were looking at going, ooh, okay. Well, and then and then the girl picks him up. She's like, "Oh my god, I love them!"
Yeah,
like they're not looking most of the time. Most of the time, some people you're gonna get the pain in the ass every now and then. That's going to be scrutinizing it as closely as you are.
Those are the people that put complaints on her, like someone's not attention to detail stuff.
For the most part, though, they're not looking at it through your eyes. It's kind of like any other kind of piece of art. You see the flaws. Like I the picture that I have.
Yeah.
You say it looks amazing, and I look at it every day, and I'm just like, I could fix this, I could fix that, I could do that. They're not looking at it through the same eyes, and you guys got to remember that. So don't be too hard on yourselves, unless it's like something obvious that you're messing up. They're don't just leave like a splotch of something in there, but they're probably gonna be happy with it as long as it holds up to general normal standards, not the nitpicky perfectionist standards. Yeah, and I'm not saying, and that's not me saying be lazy. It's not. Give it all. Do the best damn job you can do always, but don't be too hard on yourself if you notice something that you could have improved on, because most likely they're not going to even notice.
Yeah, us as screen printers, we see all the little things, and then most clients won't. But we keep a certain standard when it comes to how things are printed, but every now and then it's one of those situations where what the deal is, I'm like, for me personally, with screen printing, I'm like, okay, I'm not completely happy with this, especially if it's a spot process deal. I'll go back and I'll adjust certain screens.
And I think that's the appropriate reaction to that. But
right, but sometimes you don't have time for that. Like sometimes you just have one shot. You might be able to do one screen or so. Sometimes I might redo the whole set of screens just to make it right. But then again, with those time crunches
but we're all our own worst critics, guys. That's just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Hold yourself to a certain standard, but just remember, no one's going to be as harsh on it as you are.
Shannon's taking a page out of her own book.
I'm being a complete hypocrite right here.
She's super critical on herself, which I think that just makes you a better artist, screen printer, whatever the case may be. So, yeah, I mean, that's just part of being an artist. I think a lot of times myself and Shannon will create something and be like, man, there's times when you're like really happy about it, but then there's times when you're just like, this just kind of, it is what it is. It's not finished. Need more time with it, but you got to, being a commercial artist, you got to do what they say. Sometimes they'll say, I want this. I might think that whatever it is that they want, I could give them some suggestions. And like, you'll give them these suggestions and then
hi,
like,
GM.
No, we want it this way. Okay. All right. Well,
bye, Hotbucks.
You're the one, funding this project, and we're doing, we're essentially making their art come to life, really. So, yeah. Oh, man.
So Ryby's is thinking he wants to do a live stream now. He's like, I gotta be like the big boys. You should,
right? I think that would be awesome, and I would definitely tune into it. That would be something I would really enjoy. And then I can call in on the other line. No, I would definitely tune into that, because I check everybody's stuff out there, and I don't know, it's fun. I remember, and Shannon, you can chime in on this. It was last year. Well, fine. I don't want you to chime in anyways.
No, let me
get a bucket for you real quick, and you can do your. What did you just throw at me?
A tiny notebook.
So, this whole live stream thing I set up last year, like all the staging and all that, and finally got around to it. I was working on the live stream, was working on redoing our website. We had work, just regular work, doing the YouTube, creating videos and all that, and it's the live thing has been a long time coming. I didn't want to just grab a cell phone and be like, hey, let me take your questions, and I'm like scrolling. Okay, let me look at this. Although today I did think about, while we were printing that the race car design, I was this close to just being like, hey, I'm gonna put it live on the phone, and then you record me going through the whole process and getting everything all set up and getting it to the point towards where it's like, okay, yeah, this is looking awesome. And we'll eventually do that kind of stuff,
well, I think
but we got to kind of
like
figure
announcements or something, because no one's gonna know that you're doing it.
No, shoot,
no.
There's
okay. Well, never mind.
Like, say for instance, an t-shirt chick, I think she's really cool, and she does she doesn't necessarily, she does do some of that, and I kind of like just the random, just kind of like, hey, we're going live, no scheduled announcement, and we're printing
Surprise!
Something that you guys will probably be interested in. Okay. But then a lot of times it's like, we can't show off who this client is because A, we don't want them getting spammed by other people. We don't want people trying to steal our clients because we've worked hard to get them, type of deal. But with like the racing shirts, that's some.
Well, she's pretty much told us she's never going with anybody else.
Well, yeah, I mean that's one of my good brother's friends. And
your good brother's friends? Which one's the bad one?
I can't say that either one of them's worse than the other, but I phrased that wrong. What I'm saying is my brother's good friends.
There we go.
Excuse me. That is my bad.
I couldn't resist not poking fun at that.
You hush your mouth over there. Anyhow, yeah, that's one client. I'm like, I'm not worried about losing, because they're just they're good people. They're good people, and we're when it comes to just, Josh has raced with them for years and years and has mentioned, hey, I got my shirt. My brother did the shirts. I sponsor them basically, and I was just like, hey, just pay me a little bit of cash. That way I'm just not completely losing out and spending a crap ton of time doing this for you. So that's one of those connections. So
Indigenous has another question, and thank you, Indigenous, because you're asking all these questions and it's really helping us out, because I don't know if you've noticed, but Matt's been a little bit distracted this week, so we haven't thought about
I have.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
we haven't
like
really thought about anything
topic.
to talk about. So it's really good that you're asking questions and keeping this going for us. Appreciate you. He wants to know what 4 favorite shirts to print on that make the print look smooth.
Model number wise, I would say from best to, or good to best type situation, I would say the 64,000, the soft style, that's a good one. I would say next level Bella Canvas. I can't really say that one of those is better than the other.
They're smoother there to print on. There's less fibrillation.
Anvil, the Anvil, what model number is that? 980, 981.
I don't know. I don't really order them often.
Yeah, we're kind of into them for a bit, and they're like, okay, we don't really like the cut of them.
Yeah.
The cut's not bad, but we started wearing them ourselves, and it was like, it seemed like it was just like really,
yeah, it was really tight around the neck.
But it's not a bad one.
Or maybe you just have
it's not a bad
neck.
one. I just got a fat neck.
No one can tell. You have a beard.
No one can tell that I have a beard.
No one can tell about your neck because you have a beard. Me, if I wanted to try, like, I could be like.
Oh my god! See, that's why you need a camera.
I'm never doing that on camera.
Why wouldn't you? God, you're such a goofball.
I just gave myself 3 chins. He looks over and I'm like, oh.
You look like you had a 6-pack of hot dogs on your neck. You had no chin at that moment. and one of the funny things is, Gnome, she came behind me. We're like trying to line all this stuff up. And so Rybeats saw a side of Shannon that y'all haven't seen. And I'm trying. And I just come back from the beach. I promise I'm trying to get her on. I bought.
There's a quota.
I bought this dude here.
For
really
you.
not. Well, I mean, I bought it for me, for one, but I also bought it because I'm like, hey, I can put this thing on Shannon over there. And really, I probably will just get another one. Yes.
Rybeats is wants actually to know, speaking of, he wants to know if we print it on American Apparel sweaters and hoodies. It seems like there is a waterproof coating on them. I could never get a good consistent print. Seems runny. First off, though, I just have a fun fact about American Apparel.
Shannon's about to blow your mind.
American Apparel just lost their last not just lost, but a couple of years ago they lost their last president because he was crazy. He would walk around the office. Well,
he was
naked.
The CEO.
He would, yeah, whatever.
The
CEO,
the owner, or whatever you want to call him.
Tomato. Anyways, underwear. He would walk in his underwear.
Potato.
Walk around in his underwear, and he would, like, do inappropriate things to himself while he was being interviewed by female journalists. And he used to have, like, meetings. He would insist on having his meetings on his bed in his home. And so they eventually had to fire him. And then I think that's actually why, for a while there, American Apparel, because we were talking to the guy at TSC, and he was saying that it's really hard to get anything from American Apparel at the moment. But they picked their feet up. They got better and stuff. It's just their last president was crazy. Fun fact. That's your fun fact for the day.
Also, part of that too is Gildan bought them out, and so now they're not all printed in America. A lot of them are printed overseas. I forget what country it is, but they've changed up so much. It was LA Apparel, and then it went back to American Apparel, and there's a couple clients that really liked American Apparel. American Apparel was a great shirt to print on. To answer your question, Rybeats, have not had any problems with printing on American Apparel as if it had maybe some sort of starch or something on it. One of the ways I do go about printing shirts, and that will help with some of those issues, is I'll load it up on the press, the shirt on the press, and then run it underneath the flash to kind of get rid of any moisture or anything like that. And it also will help the shrink the shirt up a little bit if it is going to shrink, to prevent any kind of registration issues. So, although there's someone I was like, hey, why don't you just put the shirt on there, do the print, run it under the flash, and then do your top colors, take it off, put the next shirt on there. And one of the reasons why is I mean, there's some people that will just run the shirts through the conveyor dryer. I like to put it on the pallet, put it underneath the flash. So for one, I feel like the motion of just grabbing a shirt, putting on, rotating it, grabbing a shirt, putting on, getting all the pallets filled up, and they're sitting underneath that flash, kind of just evaporating any moisture or any of the starch or where the hell they put in those t-shirts. And then when I come back around, it's like I can just concentrate on that same motion rather than having to turn behind me, put it on the press, spin it, print it, come to the next thing, do my top colors, put it on the conveyor dryer, turn back around. So it kind of limits my motion from having to do this. I'm grabbing stuff off the table here to the press, to going all the way over here and then going back over, because it tends to make me, it tends to drive me a little crazy because I feel like I'm almost doing a circle.
Sundry wants to know about the hoodies and jackets because they're thicker. Yeah. That's what he just asked. And Gene has a question that I forgot to get to. Sorry, Gene. Yeah, I'll get to you.
I saw the question.
Okay,
Gene. So hoodies and because they're thicker. I mean, the only thing really that you need to do is just adjust your off contact for those thicker garments. I learned
what that was this week.
Yeah, I was explaining to Shannon because she was like, "Hey, while you're trying to figure out your computer situation, why don't we bring someone in? We'll bring Panda, which I'm eventually going to get him
Sunday
in
was
on
just asking
a video log.
Sorry, fine, I didn't want to touch you either.
But we have a part-time employee that comes in. His name's Panda. Oddly enough, another just little nickname. But she was like, "Hey, why don't you have him come in and then you have that easy squeegee or whatever it is, and maybe he can just print it." And I was like, "No, that I don't really see that working out." And she felt a little like,
no worries,
okay,
baby.
well,
Sundry, I get it. It's okay.
She felt a little bit like, well, why not? You got a stencil, you can do it. And I was like, well, there's off contact you have to worry about. When you print and flash your print, you have to make sure it's completely flashed. And if it's not flashed enough, you go and do your overprint on it. Like with an automated situation, that would be more so the case. But then there's the what type of ink are we using? Curing, making sure they're properly cured. We had talked about. I think I had already mentioned off contact, and then it's with the manual press. If you swing the screens around too hard, you can bump them out of registration easily, and then you have to go back and re-register it. You can over flash your underbase, and then after a few washes, your overprint will eventually wash out. And I would love for someone to be able to just come in and
we'll get him there.
We'll get him there. Just at the moment, it's not.
I was just
where it needs to be.
I was just brainstorming, problem solving. That's all. Anyways,
no, yeah, you're right. And I think it's a great idea. So one of our students, Jaime, like he got it down pretty quick, and not that Panda couldn't, but I think Jaime
now
was
they want to bring Michael in there.
He's one of those attention to the tells kind of guy, and Jaime, if you're watching, he did a really great job as a student. I'm like, man, do you want a job? You want to come in and print T-shirts? But we're kind of working out.
Panda would be so pissed to be your team right now.
I could be doing the artwork stuff and the separations and all that, and I'm like, Panda's out there handling the reclaiming of the screens and kind of assisting Jaime. But Jaime's still like not even at that point. Like I think with a lot of repetition, he'll be there pretty quickly, just with some of the guidance given. But yeah, he did a great job. He did a really great job.
When Jaime came in, Matt of course dragged me with him, and I fell asleep on the futon. Matt had to wake me up because I started to snore. So that was like super professional and awesome. So yeah, but it's really funny. My mom thought that was hilarious. Okay, Gene, go-to shirt to print on.
Go-to shirt to print on, period. I'm just gonna say the it's either the Bella Canvas or the Gildan soft style, the 64,000. So the Bella Canvas would be the 3001. Those are kind of our go-tos, and I think Shannon will agree that those are some pretty rock solid.
They're great shirts.
Go-tos.
I love them. I prefer Next Level, but they're great shirts.
You prefer the Next Level now?
Well, Bella Canvas makes me feel fat because they run small. It's a personal resentment thing here.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's my suggestion, and then that's Shannon's suggestion. There's nothing wrong with the 2000 as well. It's just, I don't know, they're a little rough. They're not bad. Like I would prefer to give a client a 2000 and a 5000. There's nothing wrong with the 5000, but the 5000 just, it's kind of like your baseline.
On my end of the oven, or dryer, whatever. I call it an oven because I always think of pizza.
Well, it is an oven.
Okay, well then there you go. But from my end, like for a while there, the 5000s were like the texture of them was smoother. I don't know why. I don't know if it's still that way. Just because it might be the colors that we were using because we haven't used 5000 in a while. But I know some of the 2000s were a lot rougher. But
yeah, sometimes it just comes down to the color. From my experience, the 2000s just a little better. I mean, not that much better, but the 2000 is like our base shirt. If someone wants something budget conscious wise, we'll do the 2000.
You never say cheapest when you're talking to the client about it. It's the most economical.
Right.
You never say cheap ever, because it's underselling your own product and worth and your own
affordable
and your work. Yeah, no. I say most economical. Something. It just just comes more easily to me. Anyways,
so if you're having a hard time finding clients and you're talking about cheap and affordable, then
just don't say cheap.
Remove those two words from your vocabulary and just do the budget conscious or we're trying to work with your budget, and this is
trying to work with your budget. This is the most economical choice. Right. Ignore the fact that there might be a hole in the armpit.
Yeah. Okay. Shanny the shop gnome, is there any more questions before we get out of here in the next few minutes, so that way you can
Gene says he didn't he got the new hammer.
Oh,
from Gildan. He got one. Yeah, we got one too, actually. We called up the rep from TSC, and I just asked him for one, and so he sent it, and we lifted it out of the bag, and we were like, huh.
Yeah. That
I wasn't a big fan of it.
Okay, I'm gonna say that I get the where that fits in, because the whole 90s thing is in now, the haircuts, everything, which I don't really get it. Probably because
Matt got a Will Smith haircut like a couple months ago. It was hilarious.
Yeah. I don't get it because I've already lived through that. The whole jam shorts, bicycle shorts, the fanny packs, which I thought was stupid, the oversized t-shirts, and now the really bright neon colors and all that, and the eraser haircuts or just I mean, I think long hair's always kind of been cool in a sense, but that's kind of coming back, but with the bangs, and I'm just like the mullets and crap, and I'm like, why, man? Why can't you think of something original and like do something original for your own your childhood, as being a millennial or whatever they are now, like.
So
come on.
Yeah.
Now.
So the TSC guy was trying to sell us. I mean, he's a sweet man.
What?
His name is sweet. Like literally. But he's a nice guy and everything. But he was like trying to sell us on the hammer because it's a boxier thing. And I don't know, I just didn't like it. It was heavy. It was huge.
Was it huge?
It was huge. It was huge. Oh my god! It was horrible. It cost me $5, and it was huge.
It's
huge.
Still sitting on the sorting table out in the shop. I'll probably end up doing something with it, but like with my frame, because I'm not. I don't know. I just think it looks. I have plenty of pictures of me when I was younger wearing these big boxy shirts, and then when it came around to more fitted shirts.
Yes.
Keep going. I don't know. I think it, for me, at least my frame, I don't think I would ever go back to the whole boxy t-shirts, because then I'm just too skinny for that.
Yeah, very nice shoulders and arms though, because manual labor.
Yeah, anyways, but you don't even see that with those damn boxy shirts. But anyway,
one more question, and I think we'll get out of here because it's been an hour now. JP asked if is it better to buy pallets or can you just make your own?
You can make your own if you have a table saw and a router. I would look for some MDF that has the Formica coating on it. That would be the way to go. I mean, if you're that savvy to begin with, I would even just skip doing the wooden pallets altogether and get some aluminum that's a 1/4 inch thick and cutting that down to either 14 by 16 or 18 by 16. I would do 18 by 16. And
Jason, I was a
that route because yeah, you can make it. But however, I will say that if you have some really rough cuts, rough edges, when you go to put that shirt on, you have a chance of tearing those shirts.
No,
they're gonna catch. It's at that point, if that is the case, then I would suggest buying them, because you don't want your shirts being torn up and wood chips in it and all that. So MDF covered with Formica, if you can find that, and then route it yourself. If you got a router, I'd say go for it. Aside from that, if you're using a back saw or an axe to cut your boards,
that's interesting.
Yeah, just
Jason says his pallets are made from I'm not gonna try to pronounce. Corian, the expensive rich people countertops like granite.
Oh, those must be heavy.
That's interesting though.
That is interesting. Are they heavy though? Let us know, because I guess it depends on the thickness. And then how did you go about? I imagine you probably drilled it and then tapped it, and then were able to mount your brackets up to that.
Would that be actually better than anything like that has a chance of like bowing or?
Well, we just need to get the set of
it kind
aluminum
of be like
pallets.
it kind of like like when you have to flat, or when you're warming up the pallets, though, it could kind of be like one of those like the pizza stones.
Yeah, no, and I get that, but I mean, we don't have the tools to do something like that.
Right, Beats? I don't want moonshine. Why does everyone assume I'm a drunk? The term is functioning alcoholic. Thank you.
I think not to say anything, but just talking like, okay, Shani likes to drink some. We're gonna send you a little moonshine. We're gonna send you my own.
I don't know what you're talking about.
My own special brew. Yeah, as you're over there with your vodka having a sip. All right, let's go back and see if there are any more questions.
Upwards are saying just make aluminum pallets.
Yeah.
Jason says they're a tad heavy, but he thinned them. He'll send pics.
Okay, so
and he can work with it with woodworking equipment. Yeah,
so one of the things we're going to do, we are going to go ahead and put together. I'm going to write it on the board. We're going to put together a Facebook page
right next to my digitizing notes.
Shop Talk Live. We'll call it Shop Talk. Shop Talk. Excuse me. Shop Talk Live. It might have something screen printing or something or another. One of the reasons I haven't done that is because I did see some other. And this is not where I got the idea from it. But I did see someone else had Shop Talk, and I'm like, what the hell? Okay, whatever. But we'll start our own little thing, and we'll send you guys a link. We'll put it in our live feeds and all that, and so that way you can show your pictures. That's a lot easier than you guys emailing, and it will also kind of help us kind of keep our work separate from the Shop Talk stuff. So,
and if you guys send me pictures of the Shop Gnome shirts, that would give me a break on a day for Instagram posts, because I have been really terrible about posting on Instagram lately. I'm so bad at I'm so bad at social media. I don't have a Facebook. So if you guys could cut me a break and send me some stuff that I can put there, don't just put it up there and tag me. Just send it to me so I can get my boss off my back about doing the marketing.
Who's that?
I have no idea.
Well, that guy must be a real hole.
Yeah, he's a hard ass.
What are you doing right now? Type something, will you? We're paying you.
I'll finish my job for the day. It's 2 in the afternoon. I'm like, All right. I even tried to write a blog, but then it turns out that the blog that I wrote was the exact same blog that I had already posted.
Oh my god! How do you not like?
I didn't know you had posted it.
Yeah, I did post it.
Well,
By
you
the
didn't
way,
tell me.
Shani has a blog on our website, MikeyDesigns.com. Go over to our blog section.
Please don't, guys.
She has some blogs.
I hate
put
it.
blogs
I'm not a
up
writer. Please, guys, don't.
too. Yeah, you are a writer. You know, you're a writer. Your diary hangs around all the time, and nobody reads it. But this is your this is your screen printing diary, so to speak. It is.
Bye, Rybeats.
It is a little bit. It's a little bit of her screen printing diary. So, we are about to get out of here, you guys. It's been fun hanging out as usual.
Oh, and okay.
So Shani is going to. Sorry about that, Shannon. I know I keep saying Shani quite a bit.
Yeah.
But go ahead and leave us with some of those words of wisdom, or I think you had a joke lined up, don't you? Well, fine.
I'm
whatever.
so blank.
Okay, we're just gonna get out of here.
No, I just told you a joke earlier, and then you said it was stupid, so I'm definitely not using that.
the Raven writing desk thing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's
okay. I have a joke.
Okay, go ahead with your joke there.
This is actually Matt's joke.
What joke? Hold on.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Oh yeah. Why, Shannon?
To get to the idiot's house. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
The chicken.
The kids love that one.
That's all I had. I froze. I didn't think of it.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget, if you are new to our live shows, go over to our Facebook page, give it a like. Go to Instagram, follow us on Instagram. Be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, share it, and all that fun stuff. I have a joke. I have a little bit of an outro joke, but I don't know if we're gonna be flagged again for monetization.
Yeah, we got flagged from the last time, but that's my bit, anyways.
Okay, so, I'll let Shannon tell it next time.
Maybe.
So we're
trying to stay away from some of them.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here, and we'll see you guys next Monday, and we're gonna try and figure this thing out so we can have Rybeats on finally. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys. Hearts.